Well, let's talk about things to keep top of mind during harvest season as we are largely underway with the bulk of harvest across much of the country. Joining us now for a conversation, retail sales agronomist for Brevant Seeds in Iowa. Tony Mollers is with us here today. Tony, it is good to talk with you again, sir. How are you?
Jesse, I am doing wonderful. I'm excited to be here. As always, it is a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you for having me.
You bet. You bet. All right, let's talk harvest season. Always a busy, busy time of year. What do farmers need to be keeping top of mind as we get rolling with fall harvest?
Jesse, excellent question. So, as we continue to progress into the next several weeks, and up here in this northwest corner of Iowa, as harvest really starts to kick off for growers up here, there's a lot of things to keep top of mind. So one is as we continue to inch closer and get into the harvest season, one is make sure you go back out to fields and take another evaluation set of notes. How are things doing? What are you seeing out there? When you think of something like disease, for example, are you seeing things like tar spot show up in some of your fields for the first time? Another example up here would be Gossa's wilt. So take notes on some of the things that you're seeing from a disease pressure standpoint or a weed pressure standpoint, and make notes of those things. So as we start putting plans together for 25, those are some things we can have top of mind and make sure we're putting best management practices together to be able to combat things like that. Secondly, I would say as harvest continues to progress along, if you're in some of these areas that we've had challenging conditions, we've had excessive moisture, we've had nitrogen loss, we've had high disease pressure, make sure we're harvesting timely. And there's a variety of planting dates across the geographies this year, with some later parts to the country with excessive moisture this spring. But in general, I think it's going to be very important to make sure we're on top of harvest this year. Don't let this crop get away from us, because we're starting to see some of those cannibalistic characteristics as this crop tries to push itself across the finish line. So as we keep going through harvest, I'd say simply making sure that we stay on top of this one and we get the crop out in a timely fashion, I think is going to be really important, Jesse, as we go through the next several weeks.
Well, what role do yield results play during harvest and into decision-making time for next year?
Yeah, excellent question. So when you look at yields results, obviously we're very focused on finding ways that we're finding those varieties, finding those hybrids that are bringing us that next level of yield every year. We're always trying to unlock, another bushel of corn or the next level of performance in soybeans. But I do remember, the Paul Harvey, the rest of the story, right? And as you think with the rest of the story, as we go through fall and we start putting plans together for 25, it's important that not only do we look at yield and the yield results, but you've got to understand the agronomic factors of the products we're selecting as well. And again, this year, as I said before, we're seeing things separate out from a Gossa's wilt perspective, or brittle snap if you've had wind events in your area. And so you don't always see those things, right? When we look at yield results, we don't get the full story. And so that's where you got to lean into your local ag retail agronomist. They're the experts in your area. They know the Brevant lineup inside and out, and they're the ones that can make sure that not only are they recommending the best yielding products for your farm, but that it also has agronomic factors that you also need for your operation as well.
Well, Tony, where can farmers go to get yield results from their area?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, make sure you pick up the phone or stop in and call your local ag retailer, as they're excited to tell you what they're seeing with the Brevant lineup. They'll be equipped with a lot of yield data here as we go throughout this fall. But then also visit Brevant.com, as we will have a lot of results online as well.
Fantastic. Retail sales agronomist with Brevant Seeds, Tony Mollers. Tony, good to talk with you, and we will look forward to talking with you again next week here on the program. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot, Jesse. Happy to be here.
Make sure to subscribe to the Market Talk YouTube channel. There, you can watch our latest interviews with the top market analysts in the country, find bonus content, and much more. Just go to youtube.com/markettalkag and hit the subscribe button, or you can search for Market Talk Ag on YouTube.